that they get into. And then I want to talk about stage 4, which is a little bit different. But the beginning stages, they have to detox. So what is your protocol for detoxing these folks?
There's a lot of different detoxification protocols. We use the right kind of water, which works so good, it's just unbelievable. But there are new things that we're discovering, and I've discovered some new things even over the past year that really stunned me. I mean, we talk about coffee enemas, and certainly they work because they dump the liver. We talk about juicing and eating lemons because they help to detoxify the liver. There's a lot of foods that you can eat that actually assist in the detoxification process. Some new things we discovered, oil pulling. Do you know about oil pulling? You do?
Yeah. About 15 years ago, I heard about that, and I thought that's really gross. Olive oil in your mouth? Oh gosh, no. But I did it, and I was like surprised at how it worked and what it did. And I stopped doing it, and then recently I did it again. And throughout your life you do different things. But yeah, I have heard of that. It's been around. Before we go on, let me just back up a little bit what you said about water, because people don't really understand water and how that helps in the detoxification process. Let's go a little bit more detail about that. First of all, let's go to what kind of water you recommend, Bob.
Well, I did a study on water because I was trying to figure out, and I did this several years ago, trying to figure out what can cancer patients drink. Can't drink soda pop, can't drink diet pop. Almost anything you can buy in a store is poison for you. You can't drink milk. The casein in milk is directly related to sickness and disease and cancer. And I tell people, if you can drink milk, drink raw goat's milk. It's more in line with what we should drink. But bottled water is usually acidic. It usually comes out of a municipal water system. It's been filtered, or comes out of the Chicago River or the Detroit River or something.
Oh, wait. You're saying bottled water, even the stuff that is supposed to be natural, been purified and all that? I mean, what are you saying there?
Well, what I'm saying is that if you run your tap water into a bottle and put a cap on it, and then put it in your pantry for 2 or 3 years, you want to drink that? And I'm saying, I don't want to drink that. And yet most bottled water has been sitting around for 1 to 3 years by the time it reaches your lips. And I think, you know what? I don't want to drink that. Now having said that, there's some better bottled waters out there than most. Obviously, there are some bottled waters that advertise that they are alkaline. I'm yet to see that, but I'm sure it's possible. So people have to be very careful with that. And these vitamin drinks and all these things that you find in the store, they're simply not good for you because they're acidic. I don't like RO water, reverse osmosis. I don't like distilled water. And people say, but it's pure. It's pure. Sure it is. And if you want to take distilled water and RO water and add back a bunch of minerals and the things that should be in it in the first place, then okay, go that route. But I have a tendency to believe, because I've seen it through my studies, that when you put water in that has, in my opinion, no real life in it, that it has a tendency to rob from the life in your body. And I think I can prove that. So I like active living water. And I know that everyone doesn't agree with me, but at the same time, I have seen testimonials that are now legion for people that drink ionized water, and a specific kind of ionized water, because all water is not created equal, whether it's RO or distilled or ionized water. And most of the ionized water that people get hold of doesn't necessarily do what it's purported to do for any long period of time. That's why people have to be careful. That's why I did my homework and I did my studies, and I discovered a water and an ionizer, and I don't do this for money. No one pays me to make recommendations, and I wouldn't take anything if they offered, because I wouldn't have any credibility left if I did. I recommend things in my business because I think they're best for cancer patients and best for people that are struggling with sickness or disease. We should all be that way. Unfortunately, we're not. And when I see people recommend things and they're making $50,000 a year by doing that, I have to think, I wonder. I can't accuse anyone because I don't know what their motives are, but I can't do that. And so I recommend the things that work. I know that the right kind of ionized water works because I've seen it work time and time and time again. I've seen high alkaline water to 9.5 and even 11.5 now turn around end-stage pancreatic cancer patients and end-stage lung cancer patients and everyone in between. Folks, it works. And it works to alkalinize the body. It floods the body with antioxidants. I mean, when you can take a 12-ounce glass of water and know that it has more antioxidant capacity than all the organic fruits and vegetables you could possibly eat in one day, would that be good for you? I think so. And so I recommend it. It's one of the top things we recommend because we've yet to see anyone who has not benefited.
Okay, so Bob, if they want to learn about this whole ionization process, I know a lot, and I don't want to get into it. It really is a complicated process, and I know exactly what you're talking about. But if they want to get more information or understand about ionization or where to get an ionizing machine, do you have all this on your website?
Yes, and it's in the book too. Chapter 6, it was so imperative that we get into the hands of the people, what this water deal is all about, because water in the right form, I mean, whether it's Himalayan glacier water, glacier milk, or water that's running down a mountain stream somewhere else, or the right kind of ionized water, it's critical to get the right kind of water to hydrate in your body, to detoxify your body. It's just absolutely critical. So chapter 6 in my book is all about water. It's all about ionization too and how it works and what I recommend.
Excellent. Okay, so that's where they need to go, to your website to get the book, and then they can get all the information. All right, so let's continue.